Hey, Brandon,
Yes, Mr. Tom.
remember when we were talking about what Justin Fields could get on in terms of trade value? And there was talks about a high first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And now here's the thing. If it
I
was any other fan
I
base,
almost made a video saying I bet Tom brings up Justin Fields trade comp within the first 5 minutes of the show, and I forgot to do it.
don't worry. Daddy always delivers.
It's fair. You and I both like when we're right, and one of us
Doesn't
just
happen a
happens to be
lot,
right
so
a lot more than the other one.
we gotta embrace it when we do. It's the only thing we have.
Technically, it could be a fourth, right?
Technically, it could be. You're just like, there's still hope. Baby, we here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Yeah. Come on now. Oh,
There, that's better.
hey, yes. Oh, that's a puppy.
That's a yeetus.
Also, so you remember I told you last week or 2 weeks ago that I'm bidding on something for you?
Oh,
The
God.
auction ends on Thursday. Right now, I'm in the lead. I'm hoping I just have to remember. This is going to be a busy week for me, but I'm gonna try to remember. You're gonna get it.
Oh, God.
I told Johnny Barks what it is too, and he's like, "Oh, that's good."
That's
So-
great. Speaking of Johnny and gifts, did you see what Johnny sent me?
I did. When we were in Indianapolis, because Johnny drove to Indianapolis, he went to go pick up food, and I was waiting in the car, and he's like, "I'm gonna put Creed on for you." So he's just blasting Creed while I'm sitting in the car. It wasn't the worst thing. Come on, let's go there.
Depends on whose ears it is. I told Johnny, Lord Taco. Lord Taco, I want to know what you do for a living, my friend. I want to know where you get all these hundos from.
I'm telling you, Lord Taco's working 3 jobs just to support you.
Yeah.
It's just
He's like, I actually make tacos as for a food truck. That's not
Yeah.
my day job, just to cover this.
Yeah, 100%. You're just like, and margins are razor thin.
Yeah.
Razor thin.
Razors thin.
Johnny John
Thank you, Lord Taco. I told Barks, Nickelback better than Creed.
So
He did not like that, by the way.
here's the thing. Nickelback's first album, I'll die on that hill. I don't think that's that controversial. Their first album's good because it's like actual rock. I think it's good. Then it became like very like poppy mainstream, like whatever. But their first album, very good. Creed's just a banger, bro. Come on now. Let's go there. Let's make our escape.
Yeah, I think I just don't like Scott Stapp's voice. I think it's annoying.
Can you take me higher?
Anyway, thank you, Johnny, for sending me Creed. I was actually thinking about that again, where like
Maybe.
how much, like, because hating bands, right? Hating music, it's only something you can do is if you're really forced to hear that music.
Correct.
And we mentioned like now you don't really have
We
to.
don't live
And I
in
was
that
thinking
age
about like
anymore.
sitting through MTV and watching music videos that you just fucking hate to get to the band you want to
Yes.
see. Like I remember waiting for like Green Day and just like hearing like a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh God. And after a while, even if you don't like it, it'll grow on you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the worst. It's a band you don't like, but you hear it enough times and you're like, I can kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
Creed did the opposite. The more I heard of Creed, the less I wanted to ever hear him again.
But kids these days, they don't understand. You see, when Brandon was growing up, they had it on the radio. You know, they had
The
it.
radio, got to listen through it.
Used to gather around in the living room because there weren't TVs yet.
All the boomer take, it's reality for me when I was listening to that.
Yeah, but that was a thing. It was like, oh man, you're listening through like the top 10 or like VH1's like, top whatever. You're watching all these crappy music videos. Like, when's the song that I like? Like, yeah, 100%. I'm not doing a March Madness thing just because I don't understand enough about March Madness. I like keeping it on in the background, but also we should laugh.
Anyway, got that off our chest. We're gonna break down. Dude, just a crazy another. I didn't expect this weekend to crazy with free agency.
Yeah, it never ends. I have to ask you.
Sure.
Who's your most hated band? Hated, like of all time. You're just like, I will not listen to a single song of theirs. Like, I hate them. You actively dislike them.
Oh. See, like, I don't like Creed, but I don't even feel that passionately about it.
It's that's what I'm saying. It could just be like, all right, they're not my cup of tea.
I don't. Oh man,
it's an easy deal.
I'd have to think about that.
Okay.
I'd say genre-wise, it's just country music.
Yeah. So,
fair. I've tried to go back to genres to see if I was just being a childish asshole.
Yeah, my music tastes weren't there.
Yeah, and there's like some country that's fine. Stuff that's like a little bit closer to like your blues-based country.
All about that. Yep.
But like modern country music, I can't. Just as a genre, I can't.
See, like a Chris Stapleton, all day. Like, because I just love his voice. Like, his voice is really good. Like, St. Paul and the Broken Bones are not country, but they're like that folky, like blues, like kind of. I'm like, okay, yeah, I dig that. So I completely agree. Like, once it gets to like very twangy, very like stereotypical country, I'm like, I can't do this. She's like, I'll make my daddy proud. I'm like, nope, I can't relate.
My dick's red, white, and blue, and it's always drunk too. See, actually, I would listen to that country song.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's talk about Justin Fields. Let's talk about this whole craziness because Per and I both put out videos of Justin Fields, and it's the best performing video we've had this offseason.
Yeah, like, this weekend was hot.
Yeah, it's doing great. So that draft class, a little bit rough, but Justin Fields, we talked about what he could fetch. Eventually, got traded to the Steelers. Apparently, there were a couple other teams that were interested. But the Steelers wind up getting him for a 6th-round pick that could turn into a 4th-round pick if he plays, I think it's like 61% or whatever snaps. It was something like that. But it's not even a 2024 6th-rounder. It's a 2025. So the trade value for Justin Fields was below what Kenny Pickett got.
Yeah.
Like, that's
insane to me. Shout out to the Steelers for figuring that out. And it feels like the Steelers weren't once the Steelers signed Russell Wilson, they were out of the Justin Fields market because they had Russ, they had Kenny.
I don't think so.
And then they decided to move on from Kenny and found out how cheaply Justin Fields could be acquired for, and it changed everything for them.
And you put this in the rundown, and I agree. Like, I legit want to like talk about Justin Fields today.
I do
because I feel like, first of all, there's not another team that would have made that offer. And maybe that's where the other teams that were interested. Like, you can't tell me the New York Giants are sitting there and going, yeah, why not? Like, let's say, but maybe that was one of the teams. And he was like, I just don't want to go.
I think Fields, I think the Bears did Justin Fields right by working with him.
Sure.
And I think it's because there's not like animosity there. It's just like, they're like, sorry, dude, we traded with the Panthers and now we have the number 1 overall pick. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
So it feels like Fields wanted to go to the Steelers. And why would he go to the Steelers? Because I think Justin Fields thinks he has a chance to actually take over as the starting quarterback there.
I mean, he could.
Like, they can call Russell Wilson the starter day one, but give Steelers fans a month with Russell Wilson as your quarterback. And tell me they're not going to be like, you know what? Let's see. Even if Russ is playing okay, they're going to be like, I think there's probably more with Fields. I think maybe there's more.
Do they? Or do they go, all right, even if Russell Wilson has thrown like 26 interceptions by week 7, are they like, we're not losing a 4th-round pick?
I don't think they would hold on to that.
Once we hit 61 to 62, nope, get it out of there. Then you could put Justin Fields in.
That was like you were going to be on Aaron Rodgers' snap count watch last year, right?
Yeah.
And that was taken away from you in 5 snaps. You're like, oh, he's not going to. What was the percentage of snaps he had to play?
It was, I think it was like 60.
60, and it would have been a first rounder for you
60
guys?
60 or 65, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be like that.
I would assume Patrick Mahomes probably goes 1 or close to 1.
My regret yesterday, or in the video about Justin Fields, like I used some sound bites of and comparing Russ and Justin. Like I think they are very, very similar quarterbacks. I said they're the same guy. It's like old Russ versus young Russ, except like Justin Fields a little less accurate. And my I didn't see a text message from my friend Brandon Eccles. Shout out. I didn't see a text from him. He compared it to Gemini, where young Will Smith is trying to murder old Will Smith, or vice versa. I was like, that's the one. That's the reference I wanted, because Justin Fields is young Russell Wilson trying to kill future Russell Wilson right now for the Steelers. Or it's Looper. It's Looper as well.
Looper?
Yeah, it's like it's the same fucking thing.
Don't get 200 tacos. Yeah, I want to talk about Justin Fields because there's so many caveats to this story.
Yeah.
Because it's the Bears. I've done a number of videos on the Bears and their organization, and I do think that Caleb Williams is coming into a situation that is better than what Justin Fields came into, right? Especially when it comes to like coaching. But I think that there are still concerns.
Sure.
That team is not like fully like prepared. 1, 2, the development of a quarterback. The Bears have not shown that they can do that in however many years, a long times, considering their last successful quarterback was Jay Cutler.
Neither have the Steelers, to be fair.
To be fair. Well, Ben Roethlisberger, you know.
Yeah,
it's been a while. It's been
they
a while,
had him.
But
they had him.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Tomlin inherited Big Ben, right?
It's been a while. So I think that standpoint, because you had a vocal part of the Bears fan base that really wanted to keep Justin Fields. And I got that, right? Because it was like, hey, build around him again, give him one more shot. You know, you could trade down because they don't have a lot of draft picks. Like they got 4 draft picks like in the entire draft this year?
The Bears?
Yeah, it's like super low.
Yeah, let me double check.
Yeah, because they have 1, they have 9, and then they have like a couple.
Yeah, they have 4.
Yeah, they have 4 draft picks. So you're not going to build a team. Like you have 2 in the top 10, which is great. But now you're 100% going to get Caleb Williams. Like Caleb Williams is going to be a Bear, just like we always talk
choice
about.
For him.
And then 9, they could still trade down and then like get more value there, or they can get a position of need that is desperate. So I think like bringing in a Keenan Allen for Caleb Williams is great because you have like a veteran route runner. At the same time, you're paying him a good chunk of money. He's 32 years old, and I don't know if he's going to be signing another contract after that.
Yeah.
So it's just this like weird position. And if this doesn't work out, if it does, it does. And then like, you know what? All the trials and tribulation made it worth it. But if this doesn't work out with Caleb, like this is going to be significantly bad.
Yeah.
Maybe
it became an easy decision for the Bears, though.
Yeah,
it buys you the 4 years or whatever. You're on the rookie deal. It's the guy everybody thinks is amazing. Like, just do it. Justin Fields. It's cool to see that the Bears fan base, a good chunk of them, still respect Justin Fields. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't always happen, and he hasn't been perfect, but I think they've seen him do enough where there's still a little bit of mystery and intrigue about him. And if you're a Steelers fan, that's why you're excited about getting him. And for me, it's Justin Fields. He isn't good enough to transcend any sort of situation. And that's kind of what the Bears got to be hoping with Caleb Williams. Like he's your Andrew Luck type quarterback where wherever you throw him, he's going to probably be good. Fields has to go to the right situation. I don't know if the Steelers are that. Maybe he has a chance to resurrect his career there if he starts at some point and plays well. And it turns out the Steelers are. I think Arthur Smith is a better fit with Justin Fields than Russell Wilson. And I liked Arthur Smith for either of those guys when we were thinking about the Falcons being in play for a quarterback before Arthur Smith was fired. It was like, he could probably work with these guys. But Fields has to prove that within the right system, with the right weapons, and the Bears were starting to get there. And as soon as they got there, they're just in the position like, yeah, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
And somebody said that young Russ was a really good passer in the comments. Russell Wilson is still an incredible passer. He's got one of the best arms in the NFL. The problem with Russ is there's a whole part of the field he just neglects. It's like he's like Zoolander, right? It's like this male model, very successful, great career, but he can't turn left. He can't do a left turn at the end of the runway, man. There's a middle of a field.
What a great reference.
Where he's not going to throw to. I think Justin Fields can throw it anywhere, just not as consistently, as accurately as Russ does. And Russ, besides the 2022 season, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. Takes too many sacks, holds on to the ball a little too long. He'll fumble a little too much, but they're similar with the difference being Russ negates a whole part of the field, which will kill your offensive coordinator's ability to call an offense to their strengths. Fields, I think, can play the whole field. He's just not going to be quite as consistent. Now, he's younger, and his off-script plays, I think there's a bigger threat there. I think he can escape pressure more effectively than Russell Wilson right now. And the weirdest thing about all of this, Tom, with Russ leaving Denver, right? So it divides. So, like, Bears fans divided, like, oh, we wanted Fields to have a chance. There's this, like, thing about Broncos fans in their evaluation of Russell Wilson and Sean Payton that a lot of us believe like Sean Payton is the guy to bet on moving forward versus Russ. And that if Sean Payton finds the correct quarterback to run the offense the way he wants to do it, they will be more successful. And Russell Wilson played better with Sean Payton. He played a lot better with Sean Payton. But that is also Sean Payton had nothing to do with that. Is like an argument. Like Russ played better.
Yeah.
Why did he play better? Because he had a better offensive coach calling the offense to work within his limitations. But people don't see that as a benefit of Sean Payton. It's Sean Payton was an asshole for not wanting to keep Russ. Does that make sense?
No, that makes total sense. But well, because I literally see it like online of like, you've seen a bunch of people come out for the Broncos and be like, Russell Wilson's like still great. Just Sean Payton just absolutely hated him, and that's why he's gone. Yeah. And then you have like Russell Wilson was garbage, and Sean Payton putting up with him deserves a statue. Like it's literally they was just there, and like the truth is in the middle. Wide receiver.
Got more out of Russ, and somehow, and it wasn't enough.
No, especially not for that contract. Definitely not.
So it's like, who do you put that on?
Wide receiver, baby, and hell no. Absolutely not. I played soccer. I like soccer.
Running back, safety, our corner, safety corner, running back, kick returner, punt returner, quarterback. I did it all, baby.
I did do punt returns. I was not good at it.
If you're playing at that level, don't be the best at catching the football because they're going to put you at punt return. Which guy is not going to fumble?
Yep. Exactly.
Which guy are you going to let get destroyed?
I saw that. I appreciate people tagging me in that. I appreciate you.
How nice.
Yeah.
I got tagged in. I would be watching Tom Grossi go to the Final Four. So thanks, guys. Thanks. Also, fuck Brett for not putting me in the top 4. You know what? I'm just going to say it.
I didn't get put in the top 4.
Brett Coleman for not putting me in the top 4.
Listen, I don't know.
I would have put Brett in my top 4. Now he's dead to me. Not even breaking. He's not getting in the Sweet 16.
Listen, I'll take a prick. If I take a top 5 seeding, I'm happy. I'm content. I will say I did get Brett Coleman because he tweeted out the night that Justin Fields got traded. And he's like, I was gone a couple hours. What did I miss? And I said, you could have been gone a couple of years and you still wouldn't have missed anything with the Bears. That was that one. I was like, all right.
Nice.
We got that one. We got that one. Listen, Sam Howell, the future. Also, yeah, it's pretty damn funny.
I would take Chat Sports over Brett Coleman at this point.
Oh, that's a low. Come on.
Give me Dob Kleiman over Brett Coleman right now.
Poor Brett is waking up and catching strays. You're just like, I'm taking it out on him. Well, that's the thing, too. And people are talking about the Bears. They're like, why did the Bears wait so long? Because, like, you look at the compensation that guys like Howell got or Kenny Pickett got, and they're like, if they moved him off of him quickly, then maybe they could have gotten a little bit more value.
Yeah, but I just think it's a little more complicated and nuanced than that.
It's true.
I think people knew also like what position the Bears were in.
They have no leverage.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like Sam Howell, you've got the upside there, but there's a little bit, I think, more pressure with Justin Fields because he's been a starter for 3 years with the Bears. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I think there's a little more expectation with him if you bring him into your organization. But, who knows?
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, so Justin Fields going to Pittsburgh. We'll kind of see what happens there. Going to be going to be an interesting little experiment. Because, like, the Steelers upgraded, right? Like, I like Mason Rudolph, don't get me wrong, and I know he was loved in Pittsburgh, too. It also feels like the way that Kenny Pickett left, there is a lot of, oh, well, good riddance. Not because it, like, he obviously didn't play well, but when it came out that apparently Mike Tomlin said, like, hey, you're going to get an opportunity to start, then they got Russell Wilson, and Kenny Pickett was like, nah, I'm out. Like, I want to go and be traded. I get it from both sides, but there's a good amount of Steelers fans that are like, bro, are you afraid of competition? Like,
okay, yeah, see, I think that's like a PR battle between the Steelers team and Pickett's team.
I agree.
I don't think Kenny Pickett's afraid of competition. I think Russell Wilson is more afraid of competition than Kenny Pickett.
But Kenny Pickett's going to Philadelphia where he's not going to have a chance to compete for a starting job.
Yeah, and I think he was willing to do that knowing he wasn't going to have a chance to actually compete for the job with Pittsburgh. I think like,
but why would Justin Fields be able to compete then? So you're saying Justin Fields? Because
I think Russ needed to be told he was the starter.
He'll get cut or traded for like a 6.
I think Russ needed that. I think the Steelers tried to convey that information to Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett wanted to start still. Mm-hmm. And realized he had no chance of doing it there.
That's fair.
But also, I think like Kenny he was also unhappy about when he was healthy and they kept rolling with Mason Rudolph. I think it goes back to that as well. And I think like if you're the Steelers, you realize there's not probably as much upside with Pickett at this point too. It's like we can deal with you. We can get Justin Fields, in my opinion, is an upgrade over Kenny Pickett. So,
think see, here's the thing. I don't know do you think Russell Wilson's an upgrade over Kenny Pickett?
Yes.
Yeah. So
for the Steelers specifically,
yes, I think the Steelers upgraded their QB room.
Yes,
they did. Instead of having Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, which was like this, all right, is this going to work out? Is it not going to work out? You bring in Russell Wilson for a super duper cheap deal of like, let's see what happens. And then you get Justin Fields for super duper cheap and let's see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work out. And then you go and draft a quarterback again.
Yeah.
Which you were going to be in a similar situation with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph anyway,
Also, I think like the moment Kenny Pickett got a text from Russell Wilson inviting him to Saturday night Bible study, he was like, nah, this is not the QB room for me.
He's like, I'm out. Yeah, it's going to be a weird, I'm curious the kind of offense that they're going to run in Pittsburgh. It's going to be,
I'll tell you, it's going to be frustrating. You're going to see Russ hand the ball off well. Dude, if the Steelers continue to run the ball like they did the second half of last season, Russ is going to look great for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to throw some beautiful deep balls. He's going to drive you nuts on 3rd and long, and he holds on to the ball, takes a sack.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like the Broncos offensive line was good last year. I think it was top 10, maybe top 8 in protection for the amount of time, but maybe even top 5 for the amount of time before pressure occurred for Russ.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker was holding on to the ball forever. Guess who else does that? I think the only person who held on to the ball longer last season was Justin Fields.
There you go.
So your line better be phenomenal. They're going to lean on the run. Play action is something Arthur Smith does well. And if the play action's working, I think Russ can succeed there. My fear is Russ is going to look great for the Steelers next year, and I'm just going to continue to hear about it every week. People are going to be so happy with Russ in Pittsburgh. And I want that for Russ. I want that for the Steelers. But as a Broncos fan, it's just going to be some salt in this wound that's never going away. And people are going to think it's because the Broncos couldn't do it for Russ. I just think there's a better running situation for them there. But
I agree. I think if they really utilize like Jalen Warren, because like he has looked explosive at times, and if Najee can kind of get back, then there we go.
And Najee's put up over 1,000 yards every season. Like
he's trying behind whatever offensive line there is. I don't think they're gonna make a huge splash. I don't think so. Just giving them some flexibility. I don't think they will. I mean, they re-signed their 2 guys that they wanted to. They got Baker and they got Evans, so they're happy. They're happy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so there's already people online where like Keenan Allen is like, I'm here in Chicago, grateful, because like he was talking to the Texans, right? The Texans were talking to him. Was it the Jets?
Oh, dude, Keenan Allen with the Texans?
Would have been so much fun.
Yeah, the Jets and Texans were the 2 teams that the Chargers were willing to deal him to before the Bears emerged.
Yeah.
Why would Keenan not go to the Texans, man?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dude, that would have been fun. That would have been really fun to see with CJ Stroud, like a young QB, just like letting it rip. I mean, you're gonna see with Caleb now, but I'm not gonna lie, it would have been.
That would have been tight.
It would have been more fun. Mm-hmm.
Not the Jets, but
Ooh.
I'm working on a video about that where it's basically both of those drafts.
Yeah, it's too early right this second because like there could be like 21 is not looking good. It depends on what happens with Trevor Lawrence though. If Trevor Lawrence like doesn't work out, it's gonna be ugly. Mm-hmm.
Now here's the last thing about Fields and Russ. It came out today that Russ met with the Giants right before the Steelers, right? And I think it was Pro Football Talk, Florio put it out there that the Giants weren't willing to guarantee that Russ would start ahead of Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me makes a lot of sense. That feels 100% true. Yeah. And so Russ was like, no, see you later. So he goes to the Steelers. And then the other little nugget that's been thrown out there, I don't know if it's true or not. And it's the way it's phrased. It's like, duh, of course. But it's like the Steelers and Russell Wilson want to work out a long-term contract at the end of this season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, if Russ comes in and plays well and the Steelers feel like they got an upgrade at quarterback, sure, they're going to explore like, hey, you want to play 2 or 3 more years here with us? Like, whatever. But the idea of another team just paying, say, a ton of money for Russell Wilson after everything we have seen, after all the evidence the Seahawks gave us, then the Broncos gave us, and I swear to God, I pray for Urinating Tree that they give Russell Wilson a big, fat contract.
What do you mean all the evidence that the Seahawks
The Seahawks were willing to get rid of Russell Wilson. I should have taken more. I've said I'm wrong. How many times I got to say I'm wrong, Tom?
I think it's between the Raiders and Broncos finishing last. Because I don't know.
My rookie year.
How easily.
Get away from me. I don't want to see it.
You refuse to
I
have
don't
the-
want to see it.
Man,
I
we both-
told myself,
look
I
how much
told
we've
everybody I
aged.
should have listened to Seahawks fans.
Dude, you've aged because you had to watch Russell Wilson with the Broncos. I aged because there was like 6 weeks I didn't know if we had a quarterback.
Yeah. Have fun being healthy for the rest of your life.
Really? Okay, first of all, this is not the epitome of health. Second of all,
Yeah, I was gonna say something about your po' boy on Twitter. I said
Bro,
no.
I couldn't find a roll that didn't have milk in it. So yeah, no, it actually came out super.
It
good,
looked
though.
good,
dude. It came. Out
it looked great, but it's
Not
like
French
Russell. That is like Russell Wilson. Looks great, but once you bite into that thing and there's no actual meat in there,
tasted great.
get out of here.
So
Get out of here.
So I coated it, and I air fried some cauliflower. Oh,
Ooh.
and it came out so good.
I do see, but I like vegetables, so I probably would have.
I
would
like
have enjoyed it.
vegetables.
I would have enjoyed it.
Howie will sign the NFL. He will. Listen, when I come to Colorado, I will make you like a meal, and like you just be brutally honest. Fine, yeah, no, we'll rock with this.
No, I'll eat it. I whatever people want to eat, I support.
That's it. People, other people. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I watched what it's a newer movie about the plane crash in the Andes that happened like in the 70s
Yeah.
on Netflix. Very good. Where they had to eat each other. Watch it. It is really good.
Have you watched any of the Dynasty thing from the Patriots yet? I haven't had a chance to.
No. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go in my free time and watch some fucking propaganda about the Patriots. I don't think so, Tim. I need 10 more years before I'm like, okay, let me see. Let me remember the Patriots.
I don't think so. Who?
Tim.
Yeah.
Carmi will say that because I've said it so many times to her. I don't think so, Tim. I'm a sitcom kid.
March Madness, basketball will be played.
Boom.
Dude, I have no idea about March Madness. I have no clue. I don't know who's supposed to be good. That's just, especially with this past week. Yeah, no.
Jess was like, Friday night, she was like, are we watching the Taylor Swift Eras
movie?
Are
you doing it,
I was like, on a weekend? No, that's a weeknight watch.
That's a meet. That's a.
Yeah, I'm not giving up my
This is I have to go to work, and I'm going to go
Tay-Tay.
downstairs and watch Taylor Swift.
Like, honestly, I'm not even going to hate it. I like music documentaries and music. Like, I like that shit.
It's not a doc. It's just a concert.
It's just a full whatever. Damn it.
I
even like concerts. Like, but
it's like 3.5 hours.
No, it can't be 3.5 hours.
I swear to God, I'm not even kidding.
That's gonna take 2 nights.
Let's see.
How long is it?
Swift Eras runtime. I'm sorry. It's 2 hours and 49 minutes.
That's still long.
That's still long. That is still long. Yep. Oh wait, no, but on Disney, I think they added extra songs. So now it's hold on.
No.
I think it's longer.
No.
Yeah, it's 3.5 hours long.
That sucks.
There you go, buddy. There you go. Definitely upgraded. Yeah, this happened, of course, right after we signed off. Like, in true GPS form, like 8 minutes after.
I think they wait to announce news till we're done.
Yeah, of course.
They're don't give it to these knuckleheads.
Yeah, we can't give it to GPS. They're just dominating the internet right now.
McAfee starts at right when they end. Let's wait for McAfee.
Exactly. So Donald retiring, I mean, legitimately one of the best defensive players of all time. I don't think he's the guy, but like he is top 4, top 3. Just the dominance he had at his position and just coming out and like going back, and these are all coming out on Twitter of like the scout reports of being like, oh, not so good. I think I told this story on Q&A. There used to be a column for the Packers. It was Ask Vic. And he brought up Aaron Donald after the Senior Bowl, like when he was going to get drafted, and was like, this guy's like something special. Like this guy could be something scary. And he went off to have an insanely amazing career.
I mean, I think like Lawrence Taylor is one of the only defenders you put ahead of of Aaron Donald? Lawrence
one other
Taylor?
guy.
Are you gonna say
Mr.
Reggie White? Is it
Mr.
Reggie White?
Mr. Reggie White. Okay.
Yeah, it's Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, Aaron Donald, Champ Bailey, 4 greatest defenders ever
No.
play the game.
No.
Yep.
No. They want to know what there is to do in Colorado. Fred wants to know.
Out to Parker. Okay, I know Parker very well.
You just don't know how to park.
I don't leave the house, guys.
Perna and I were talking about this literally before the show,
Yeah.
saying that because the Justin Fields stuff could have happened, I did not go to like one of my best friends' like birthday party because it was in Long Island, and I was like, I have to drive down 2 hours. I wouldn't be near the house, and in case news broke, and then the Justin Fields news broke, and that video did well. And Perna's like, yeah, I didn't go out too, like to a friend's house.
I ditched
That's
my
what
friends.
This is.
I wasn't like, Jess has been sick, and so she felt like crap all weekend. Supposed to go to our friends. I was just exhausted from the week. I was like, not gonna go. Then I got some energy. I was like, I'm gonna come over. It's just gonna be me. And then the Fields thing happened. I was like, sorry guys, I got to make a video. Breweries. There's a ton of breweries. Stranahan's. You want to do a little whiskey tour? I would say Casa Bonita, but you got to get on a list to go to Casa Bonita. Down, just go. I mean, I don't know. There's stuff. Eat some Mexican food. Get some green chili. Russ is Zoolander, 100%.
You can work with that. You can work that. You can do it.
It's a little chilly to go hiking still, guys, but you know.
Yeah, what's the temperature been like in Colorado?
We got was it Thursday? We got like 2 feet of snow here.
Oh yeah, you said you shoveled and burned a lot of calories.
Yeah. That was the first physical activity I did since I got the crud. It was the first time I was scared to shovel snow. I was like, can my lungs handle it?
Dude, when I got back from the combine, I like doing pull-ups. And so I just like have the bar and stuff, and it's like a really good workout. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, I do
so like I went to go do a pull-up, and I was like, I struggled. Like I struggled mightily. I was like, oh, I have lost a ton of like we're not doing that. Yesterday, I freaking got on the bike for 7.5 miles. I then ran for a mile. I was like, no. Like we're getting back in shape now. I
feel like pull-ups is the exercise that if you take any time off, you lose there. It's like it's a tough movement, and once you get good at it, you feel great about pull-ups.
You feel so good.
But until you do, they're the fucking worst.
Dude, they suck.
Like I don't want to do a pull-up. This sucks.
So the way that my brain works is because this is how we're got off the rails. It's fine. So legitimately, I just do it in like 3 different positions, to do it. So I'm like, okay, whenever I want to get back in shape, I'll do 30 a day for the first week. Because I'll be like, okay, 10. And then the next week I'll add 5. Then the next week I'll add 5. Like I got to the point of like I was doing 125 pull-ups like a day. And it was just like, all right, we're going. And I felt great. And then like playoffs happened, and it was like, you are not doing any of that. None. So, Broncos are 0 threat to the Chiefs now. But
that's the one thing Russ did do. He did beat the Chiefs.
For us. You beat
the
Chiefs.
I will forever. I'll put you in the Hall of Fame for that alone, Russ.
That's it. Put him in there. That's right.
Yeah, dude, I get it. I know the Broncos are not, but they're doing the right thing.
They are.
I feel like the Broncos and the lack of moves they have done in free agency is what they should do. But this is the kind of free agency period where you feel like you've got a really good team and you're just waiting for your draft and you like your team. You feel good about it, but it's the opposite. And it sucks because like Justin Simmons gone. We do have some really good players. We have Pat Surtain, Cortland Sutton just balled out. Our offensive line is nice right now, but they're not spending. They are thinking about the future, and they are waiting to see who they actually get at quarterback. And yes, we are preparing to suck. Okay? I know. We're going to be the worst team in the AFC West, in my opinion.
What are you going to do? Like, you going to drag it out and be like, okay, like, let's be a middling team again and get like 7
we've done
wins.
that for 8 straight years.
Yeah, exactly. So you just
and the Steelers are about to do that.
Okay. the amount of stories that I have seen about Sneed getting traded to the Colts and the amount of stories of people coming out and being like, this is not happening. This does not exist. And then the amount of people who are like, it is a done deal. It is whatever happens, somebody's going to be disappointed. At this point, it's been so overblown. I don't know if Sneed is going to the Colts. I have no clue because I don't even know what the trade compensation would look like.
Yeah.
For that.
I mean, at this point, like the Chiefs, they got their cap figured out and was like, let's just keep Sneed because he's really good. One more year, if they're really trying to three-peat, they keep Sneed.
I actually wouldn't like this trade at all. No, you get rid of 2 seconds for what? No, I wouldn't do that. And then you have to pay T. Higgins. You get Christian Watson. I know he's been injured.
Yeah.
But like, no, you keep him on the cheap contract as long as you can. And then you could always go out and draft a wide receiver because the wide receiver class is so deep. So you could just draft with your second rounder. I don't think so. Dude, well, it depends on where the 7 draft picks are. The Packers have 11, so we vibing, baby. But I mean, Keenan Allen again. It's a good signing for this year, but he's 32. You're paying him a bunch of money, and it's the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
So like, it is a temporary fix. It'll be good to get a guy for Caleb. Don't get me wrong, but like 4 draft picks ain't a lot. So yeah, if I'm the Bears, unless like someone said before, unless there's a stud at 9 where you're like, okay, you trade back and you recoup a ton of value.
Yeah. I mean, and at 9 too, they had more value. The Bears had more value at they're at 9, right?
Gotta stay for the post-credit song.
They had more value at 9 before the Vikings made their trade last week. Because I think a lot of teams would be looking to go to 9. Well, a lot. The Broncos and the Raiders would be looking to jump the Vikings, get to 9 to take J.J. McCarthy. But now that we believe Minnesota's going to be jumping up to 5, probably 6 to get J.J. McCarthy, what the Bears can do there, kind of their options start to dwindle just a little. They can still get value at that spot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think they could have gotten a deal done pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the teams that actually need a quarterback right now are simply the top 3, the Giants, the Vikings, the Broncos, the Raiders. Everybody else made moves where you're like, they are fine not taking a quarterback early. You could see teams 2nd, 3rd round, if any of those quarterbacks are there, take a draft pick on, or use a draft pick on a guy. But
congrats, Zach. Let's go.
Thanks, Zach.
Congrats.
Would you put me in the top 4 of the final 4?
It was the seeding. It was for 16. So it was like, what's your seeding at?
Yeah, where are you gonna put me top 4?
Well, Zachary passed.
Am I making it to the final 4, Zach?
That's why I was, and then Zachary still was like, you know what? You both get it. I appreciate you, Zachary. I appreciate you. Congrats on that drive.
You are a sharer of love, Zach. Wait, are you Derek Jeter's son? Does Derek Jeter's son watch our show? Confirmed.
Dennis Allen's son watched me. I don't know if he still does, but
yeah,
a couple years ago.
Do you think Bears fans are going to be more cautious about projecting beating the Packers with Caleb Williams, or are they ready to come out guns a-blazing?
I think so. Like, bro, I'm sorry. And I usually don't do this, but like, no. Now it's time for the Bears. It happened after this offseason because Jordan Love ruined your franchise. Literally of like, just the screeching halt of, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is gone. We got Fields weapons. This is going to be amazing. And then the brick wall that you ran into, right? 1. 2, Justin Fields going to take over the North. He didn't beat the Packers a single time. Not a single game did Justin Fields win. Now, wins and losses are not QB stats, but it's still funny, right? So Caleb Williams can be great. I really think that he is a great draft prospect, can be really, really good. I don't know what he's going to do in Chicago. He has potential. Like I said, he's going into a better spot. He's got potential. But, bro, Bears fans have to be praying that because if Caleb Williams is a bust, now if he's good and they start winning games, great. Then we can have a rivalry again. Like, it will be fun. But yeah, until then, the day that the Bears beat the Packers, I want to get all the crap. Let's go. Let's good. Rivalries make football better. That's why the Saints and Falcons, there's some hatred there. Good. I like it. But Broncos, you beat the Chiefs that one time. That was nice.
Yeah. And you know what the worst part is? Denver beat Kansas City basically at the worst possible time. We waited for the worst moment to get a win against Kansas City. The Broncos win streak last season screwed them. It screwed them. They were ready to bench Russ, and they just started winning. They beat the Bears. That screwed them. You're welcome, Chicago.
That was great, though.
Like, we should be sitting in the top 5 to draft our guy, and we're not.
Nope. The cold embrace. Just the cold embrace.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Yeah, I mean, well, the Raiders are in an interesting place because, like, they also, again, they have that flexibility where they could be a very solid team with a good defense this year, see if the offense can take a few steps, and then they could go draft a guy next year if they really want to, if they don't want to, like, trade up and go get somebody this year.
Yeah, there's going to be this weird, like, exercise of patience, I think, for the teams who are considering Bo Nix and Michael Penix, Spencer Rattler, because now we're assuming there's going to be 4 quarterbacks gone in the top 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
A while ago it was the 3. It was the big 3. Then you had J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix, and J.J. McCarthy wasn't even ahead of those guys.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's the 4th best quarterback. There's
learn.
some people like, oh, maybe he's actually the 3rd best quarterback in this draft. We don't freaking know.
Yeah.
And so the Broncos, if they're just sitting at 12, it's like they got to take Nix or Penix. And I think I think Sean Payton would be leaning towards Bo Nix. The Raiders should be considering Penix. Is it going to be 12 and 13, Nix and Penix? Or are we like, this is too high to draft one of those guys? Let's trade back. Let's take him just a little bit later, grab another draft pick. Maybe we love Penix and Spencer Rattler. Oh no, Penix is gone, but we can get Spencer in the 2nd, maybe 3rd. Like, I don't know. And if you're a team, the Broncos can't be patient. You just got to draft him. You got to draft that guy at 12.
With how things have gone, I mean, they weren't ideal. His roommate and one of his best friends left the team, and yeah. It's not ideal. There was other reasons he wanted to go to Vegas.
There's 100 million reasons where he's okay with it.
Yeah, there's a couple. So, just saying. Yeah, Perna, you gotta look towards the next draft class. It's fine. Just what you build the team.
Well, we got to be number 1 in that class, and at this point, nobody's really excited about that class, with the exception of possibly like Shedeur Sanders and
which there's still a lot of
2
question
guys.
marks.
I mean, like, is Quinn Ewers going to go off at Texas this year? Like, anything can change within a year. But like, yeah, I'm fine sucking next year. I'm fine, but only if we are the worst team in the league. Like,
sure,
you got to be number 1. You got to have all the control there.
Yep.
And Shadeur's got a lot to prove still.
Yes.
But watching him last year, I saw him make throws. You're like, this dude can make NFL level throws. He played behind a horrible offensive line. But now you got Dion saying he doesn't want Shedeur to go to a cold weather city. That's a coward's answer, Dion. He's going to be a Bronco if we don't take a quarterback this year. We're going to like it.
Yeah, Huntley going to Cleveland there. I actually like that pickup for them.
Yeah, finally. They signed a quarterback.
So now I have Jameis Winston,
offender.
Sean Watson, and Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I like Huntley. I would root for Huntley to be the starter in Cleveland. If Huntley's their starting QB, I can root for the Browns again.
I don't
Ramsey
know.
Bolton.
I mean, Tomlin, like, there was talks about his seat being a little warm, but I mean, the way that the Steelers operate is very similar to the Packers in that
Yeah.
like they don't get rid of coaches until like it's like way too over. So I honestly think unless they're horrifically bad, and even if they are, then they'll like give Tomlin, I think, another shot to get another QB. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I could be wrong.
Who do you think is the best free agent still available, Tom?
Oh boy,
I think it's Justin Simmons, but
there'll be more this. There'll be more this week. It was free agency.
Chase Young still hasn't signed. You got Clowney down here. Stephon Gilmore, Simmons. Did you see the thing today? Like the Cowboys have done nothing, and they still have like the least amount of cap room.
Yeah, it's rough. They had to release people. You know,
yeah, they're at $8 million or under the cap right now. So it's not the least, but the Browns, Dolphins, and Falcons have less cap room than the Cowboys.
It's true. Yeah, dude. It's it seems like only thing we're waiting for is like T. Higgins, whatever's happening with that, if anything. And then Justin Jefferson's either massive contract or if somehow, some way he gets traded. I know they said they're not, but just putting it out there.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
Dude, I think Tyler Boyd's a steal for somebody still.
Be solid. Yeah, Mike Williams. I mean, because he's visiting the Panthers, right?
Yeah. That's a big name. If he can stay healthy, it's really good.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas feels like he will be a Bronco. Josh Reynolds had a nice year with Detroit until he dropped pass in the playoffs. Dude, Kyle Van Noy, too. I got roasted for saying Kyle Van Noy was good. He had like it was one season with the Chargers. I was like, I want the Broncos to go after Kyle Van Noy, and everyone's like, he sucks. He's washed. Had a great season, very solid season with the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins, if he could ever stay healthy. Ageless wonder, Deshaun Gibson.
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like you could have, I'm not speaking as a father here. I feel like if you take them to a game once and just have that experience, that's great. And then you could do the game day food at home thing. I think just to like go and experience what the NFL is once is awesome. Just to like give that experience and share that with your kid. And then you could just stay home. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it depends on what your kid likes.
Yeah.
They like going out and doing stuff. Take them.
Why not?
Hopefully they give you that free medium soda.
Honestly, I think there's potential that whoever goes to the Vikings as a QB is going to be pretty solid. Like, I think they'll have a pretty solid first year. Because especially like Jefferson and Addison and hell, even Aaron Jones, like they're going to have some decent weapons there, Hawkinson. So I think that they are put in a pretty good situation because like Caleb going to the Bears is a decent, I'll give you that, decent situation, right? Then you have whoever's going to the Commanders. That's an all right. It's like kind of a weird like
it's like let's see. Let us see.
Yeah. The Patriots, I mean, they signed KJ Osborn. They need receivers really bad. They need receivers. They need offensive line. They need a few things. So, like, I believe in the organization, but I think it might just take a little bit longer. And then, I think whoever winds up going to Minnesota should be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they're walking into a good situation.
Unfortunately.
Their defense improved through the course of the season with Brian Flores. So you got to be excited about their defense moving forward. Here's what's like, did we talk about this Friday? Like the Vikings and the Chargers? And what if like part of the trade up is Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, I don't think there's any shot of that happening. Because they were talking about Justin Herbert. Like there was like all this.
Well, yeah, Herbert would be crazy. But like, maybe the Vikings really don't want to, like, I feel like
there you go.
They're kind of dragging their ass with this contract with Justin Jefferson. And now that Kirk Cousins is gone, I don't know why. They didn't want to pay Kirk Cousins either. Also, one thing we didn't talk about, Kevin O'Connell wanted Kirk Cousins back, right? And it like that's what was out there. Like he wanted Kirk, but the front office didn't.
But it was also like the length, like the amount of money and like the
Sure.
length of the contract. Yeah.
But maybe your head coach and who he wants at quarterback is more important than what you're willing to spend on the guy is.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Now
No,
they
I
got
understand.
aggressive and they're gonna get up and get a guy. And if they get JJ and he's good, they're gonna look like geniuses. If they somehow get into the top 3 and they take Drake May, then fine, I get it. But I don't know. Feels like your head coach and your QB. Your head coach, like, yeah, we can win with this guy. Look what I did last year before he went or after he went down. Like, just give me Kirk
Sure.
back and we can win. But then they'd have to pay. Like, I get it's not like a easy decision. You got Justin Jefferson to be paid, but I don't know, Liam. I don't know why I'm so sexy, Liam.
It's just some people, they just got it. Also, OBJ not returning to the Baltimore Ravens, who is Brandon Perna's favorite free agent. OBJ is Brandon Perna's favorite player of all time. Has said many times better than Champ Bailey, better than any offensive player
watch your
that's
mouth.
ever
You watch
played
mouth
on the Denver Broncos. That was a super chat. That'd be 5D chess. How would you feel about sucking for just a few more years and then drafting Peyton Manning's son?
No, give it to me. If I got to suck for Arch, what do I got to do? I got to ass for Arch. I got to be parched for Arch. You got to have a rhyme, Suck for luck, you got to have the rhyme.
March for Arch.
March to hell for Arch.
March to defeat.
Death march for Arch.
That's
too much? Too much? Arch is tough. That's a tough. We need like Eminem to help us with this one. Dear God.
Let's call him up.
Hey M.
Coop's
yeah,
son.
I'll take
Sorry,
Archie.
Sorry.
I'll take Archie Jr.
Did you say Peyton's son? Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm so
it's
sorry.
Cooper's son.
Yeah, it's Cooper and Peyton's son. Jesus.
The most athletic Manning was Cooper. So give me
Starch for Arch. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting closer. We're getting. I like that. Planning for Manning. That one.
Oh, there we
Planning
go.
for Nicely done,
It's
Zach.
very positive, Zach. Planning for Manning.
There you go. Oh, and it was set up here too. 3F. I want to make sure. Let's go.
You know what's sad is
panning. Ooh, panning. Oh, okay. Now, see, this is why collective.
Yeah. We've been talking about this though since
potential starter
since he was in high school.
Solid.
Like we've been joking about we'll just wait for Arch Manning.
Yeah.
It's like he's still in high school. He's got 2 years of high school left, and then you're talking, 3 years in college. Yeah. Maybe, we're like 6 years away. I'm like, we'll wait. We'll wait.
I will wait for him.
And if anybody knows how to finagle their way to a specific team, it's a Manning.
It's a
Manning.
Manning.
Eli do it?
It is a Manning.
You think the royal football family is going to let him go to some godforsaken organization? No.
I think that, and so Cody Rhodes, who's going to be wrestling Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania. The beginning of his intro song is "Wrestling has more than one royal family." I want that to be Arch Manning's, just like football has more than one royal family. He just comes out like full wrestler, like full everything, and that's how he gets announced at games. That's what I want. Because I mentioned that I know you're not a wrestling guy, except for Eddie Kingston, who loves you.
That's right. Awesome. Greatest wrestlers ever lived is Eddie Kingston.
Kingston.
Yeah, so I said Kingston.
Yeah, Kingston. Yeah, he had it. Oh, when I was talking to Engraven, he's like, that's why I like the Ravens growing up so much, because I was a Ravens fan, and they had players come out like Suggs and stuff like that, like they were doing like wrestler entrances. I was like, yeah, it's it. The pageantry, the spectacle. Beautiful.
Yeah, we need walkout songs back in the NFL.
Well, we did one with Aaron Rodgers, and that didn't work out well, and that has been memed now a gajillion times on the internet. So,
what was his walkout song?
Well, no, he just ran out with the American
Oh,
flag.
yeah. You
Like,
can't be
that-
holding the flag.
But that was just like, this is the moment. Yeah, and then that did not go well.
No, but that's why we want it. We want the memes.
Parched for Arch. Parched for Arch. Perna, what do you got coming out today? Besides, do you think OBJ is going to go to Denver?
No.
You know your favorite player?
Washed ass receiver coming to Denver? No.
In case you're new, Perna does not like OBJ.
I
I'll
don't
give
dislike
caveat,
OBJ.
Just thinks that he's a little overrated and he hasn't played up to like what he has with the Giants, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, he had a phenomenal entrance into the NFL. He was as good as advertised. Then got shipped to Cleveland.
Yes.
Since then,
There you go.
hasn't been great. Was good when and it's been injuries. It's not just like he's bad, he's been injured, he's not on the field enough, and now he's getting old. Like, if he was so good, maybe the Ravens would have beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Maybe OBJ would have been the difference. What do I got coming out today? I don't know yet.
Okay.
I got to vomit out some words. I got 2 ideas. I just don't know what to go with. So we'll see.
Fair.
What do you got?
Unless something happens, if the NFL was scripted for free agency, is going to come out today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna film it. Should come out later tonight. Probably, I'm gonna hope to get it out before 6, but if not, it'll be around like 7 or 8. So yes, scripted. We'll be back. I'll premiere it. It's gonna be a grand old time. And then all the season reaction videos are gonna be back this week. Free agency was free agency, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's safe to do your scripted. Like
I think I'm okay with
moves
that.
remaining, unless it is T. Higgins, so it's not like there's not any big ones left.
Dude, but like it was just okay. I'm gonna do it this day. Nope, more news broke. Okay, I'm gonna do it this day.
Yeah.
Nope, more news
Last
broke.
week, that was one of the most insane weeks of free agency I remember.
That Monday still was crazy, but then it just didn't end.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Are the Steelers going to sign another QB? That's my question.
No, they're gonna trade for one. They're gonna trade for one.
They're like, we actually also want Mac Jones.
Yeah, but even though he just got traded to Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're like, Jacksonville, we'll give you here's a box. Maybe there's something in it. Maybe there's nothing in there. You willing to take that deal?
We had over 7,000 people again. We appreciate you for tuning in to GPS. We'll be back right on Wednesday, potentially, probably.
And yeah, we'll be back Wednesday.
Okay, we'll be back on Wednesday at 11 a.m. at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated. Hey, let's go. You're the number 1 seed in my heart, Brandon.
Thank you, Tom. Brett Coleman's still dead to me.